Yes, we have new question here from Part 1, Alice speaking. I'm going to read the questions and give possible answers. So pay attention and take some examples from these questions here. This topic is about notifications and phone habits. The first question is, do you receive many notifications every day? Do you receive many notifications every day? Yes, I receive many notifications every day, especially when I am sitting in the evening and try to chat with my friends. So the moment I leave my phone, I have a lot of notifications coming. At the same time, during the day when I'm working on something else, I usually get a lot of notifications, especially from social media platforms such as Instagram and sometimes WhatsApp. And mostly from WhatsApp, it's usually about work and serious stuff. And from Instagram could be my friends sending me reels and those kind of stuff. Question number 2, what app sends you the most notifications? I think right now, even though the notifications are silent, most notifications are coming from WhatsApp compared to other apps. Maybe the second one would be Instagram, and then the third one would be Telegram. Question number 3, do notifications distract you? Yes, from time to time. Usually when I'm working, I'm serious. My phone is silent, so I cannot hear the notifications. But sometimes I just find myself holding my phone or looking at my phone, and out of nowhere there is a new message coming or new notifications, and I'm tempted to press the button or open it. And once I open it, reading if it's a comment or anything else, and I find myself spending more than time that I planned to spend on reading the notification. So it would be maybe one, two, three comments, thinking about them. Before you know it, 5 minutes is gone. So I could say notifications are one of the biggest distractions. Have you ever turned your phone off for a whole day? Yes, I have tried this before. I remember once I went to visit my mom and I wanted to have a weekend without a phone. So I literally left my phone and took one of the dumb phones I had, but I couldn't sleep that night. I think it's a little bit of like addiction, getting used to using the phone, scrolling all the time before you go to sleep. So your brain is used to that. If there is no that activity, it's just wandering, which tells us the truth about the phone addiction that everyone has developed nowadays. I couldn't sleep that night, and in the morning, I just woke up and went back to my place and take my phone, and then coming back, and the day continued. And especially if you're not working, because my social life is limited to my work most of the time. And when I have free time, I don't know what to do. Actually, I don't know how to pass time most of the time. So the best thing, I usually go to the gym, playing basketball or doing boxing. That's the best way I know when it comes to how we use our time. Otherwise, I get bored easily, especially when I don't have my electronic devices around me. Do you prefer voice messages or texting? Which one do I prefer? I think I prefer texting. Voice messages are good. They save a lot of time. You just say something and you're good to go. You send it. But when it comes to listening or after receiving them, it's sometimes not convenient everywhere. If you don't have the headphones, you might open the voice and you don't know what somebody's gonna say. And if you're in public, it's no longer private. When you're alone, it's probably okay. But still, even when I'm alone, maybe other people could be around or someone could be listening. I don't want to listen to every kind of voice messages. So I usually try to put my headphones first. If I don't have headphones, I just make an excuse to listen later. If it's something urgent, just type it. Even though some people usually do this to avoid a lot of texting, and some people they don't like screenshots and stuff. Maybe somebody takes screenshots. But the voice could be somebody's voice, but you cannot really prove that it's somebody's voice if they're actually saying something you don't want them to. You don't want somebody else to hear. So I would say like voices are kind of like if you really want to share somebody's voice talking about something, kind of like, okay, it's not the quickest way, but when you take a screenshot, it's usually faster. Take a screenshot, send to somebody send to another person. A lot of people could see it, but the voice, it's really not as shareable as other things. So I think like, yeah, for privacy, you could go for voice. But if you want to make sure that somebody reads something or gets your message, you could go for texting because, you know, uh, when somebody open the text, they probably have great chances of listening, of reading it. But when it comes to voice, it usually depends on where they are and their convenience in general. Right then, so as you can see here, this part has some questions, and these questions are usually short questions. The most important thing is you must be comfortable when you're answering the questions. There is no perfect answer, there is no one single answer. What they're trying to see is the way you use the language, how comfortable you are when you're using the language. Speak at your own pace. There is no speaking too fast or too slow. If that's how you generally speak, just speak at that pace. Because some people speak fast because their mind just work too fast. They cannot control themselves. If you ask them to speak slowly, they might lose the track. And if you think this video is too fast for you, you could slow it down a little bit instead of listening at maybe times 1. You can listen at it times 0.9 or something like that. You can play with the YouTube settings and you'll be good to go. So what is more important is you just to practice. You never know which part of your practice is going to help you during the exam. So you just open the questions and you practice like crazy. Go read the question, answer the question, move to the next question, answer to yourself. If you can, record yourself, listen later, try to correct your mistakes. If you can, hire a tutor who can help to direct you. You're saving a lot of time by doing so. So if you have the budget to hire a tutor, do that. If you don't have, try to do this exercise by yourself. And also you can do both. You can have a tutor and also practice this way. It's a plus situation. Anyway, this is the end of it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you. We are sharing a lot of part 1 questions, part 2 questions, and part 3 questions. So don't forget to check out our English Speaking Lab YouTube channel and stay in touch.